Alright, what's good, folks? Welcome back to another What If. Yo, it's Dr. 19, and I believe this is What If Deku was Godzilla's reincarnation part 2. I know you folks been pretty excited about this one, so yeah, I got y'all. So let's get on with this. So we start this story at UA, where Nezu is having a meeting with, a bunch of top tier heroes, where half of them wants Izuku in UA, while the other half are afraid of him being in UA, afraid of the strength that he's shown at the entrance exam. I mean, they seen All Might be able to destroy a zero pointer, but not flip him across a whole fucking city. that's a whole different level of strength. As one hero was like, one of the heroes is like, Nezu, this kid's amazing. The things he can do, his power, even his intelligence, he's number one in the making. How could some of you not agree? As another hero would speak up, it's like, because we barely know anything about this kid. Not even his quirk. He could easily be a spy or something. As this argument will go on back and forth, as All Might would be there, just listening, not really questioning it. You've seen the kid before from the sludge villain incident. After he was chasing the sludge villain, but didn't know that, Deku straight up killed him. And in All Might's eyes, he doesn't seem like a bad kid, so he's not really gonna say anything about it. He's not gonna be on either or side, because he's a number one hero. Can't really pick sides at this point. So while this little disagreement keeps going on, Nezu would finally just hush them all, then speaks up as Nezu's like, listen, for now we will watch over the kid, at least try to keep him on the side of good. If he gets out of hand, if he gets out of hand, and I mean, he seems like a good kid, so we'll leave him be for now. So yeah, that's pretty much how it is. All the heroes would agree to this, to leave Deku be and see what he does in the future. So yeah, we go to damn flashlight. Sorry. So we go to Deku, who's right now bench pressing in his room. You can imagine how much he was repping. I'm not gonna really say a number. You can imagine it if you want. As Deku would, as he would be thinking about his power and that Deku, I kind of already established this in part 1, that Deku does not know he's the reincarnation of Godzilla. But so, he believes that powers come from his parents. But he always had doubts about that, because neither of their quirks have anything to do with his powers. And to make things a bit stranger, his powers started to do something that he's never seen before. For when he was next to the same girl he met in his childhood, his powers would react in a weird way. And you guys are probably already know who the girl is. But he pushes those thoughts aside, pushing those thoughts aside, putting his weights away, and heading straight to bed. Yeah, you do a few reps and then you just head straight to bed. That's how. Can't believe I wrote that. But over at Mothra's home, Mothra, she is speaking to her two mothers about the boy at the entrance exam. She was embarrassed to say that she was embarrassed to say it, but she was excited. And I mean animal instincts excited when she's around Deku. And the two mothers, they would look at each other for a while, and then they would say that maybe you should keep an eye on this boy. Maybe there's something about him that you don't know about, but your powers do. As Mothra would be confused, not sure to believe that her powers are kind of self-aware. But her parents are usually never wrong, so she takes this information and heads to bed herself. So yeah, let's go to the next day. To the next day where Deku, who's already left the house, saying bye to his parents and heading straight to UA, as he's kind of clenching on his bullet chain necklace, which is something he would often do when he's in his head thinking of different stuff, you know. And while walking, clenching his little necklace and in his head, he didn't realize that he was in the bad of town, you know, as he bumps into a woman, kind of making her fall. As the girl's like, "Hey, you damn kid, watch where you," as her sentence was kind of cut off as she looks at the good-looking boy holding out his hand to pick her up. Hang on, let me clear my throat. Sorry. So yeah, Deku stretching out his hand saying, "Sorry about that. Wasn't really paying any attention to where I was going." As a somewhat decent looking girl would just give Deku a seductive smile, as she would forget the fact that this guy accidentally bumped her on the floor and just begin to flirt with our boy Deku. And you can't blame her. I mean, look at my boy, savage. And Deku, with all this flirt talk, he wouldn't really much care, as he kind of doesn't really understand it much. And while this is happening, a guy with a bunch of his friends would step up to Deku saying, "Dude, what the hell do you think you're doing with my girl?" As Deku would just kind of look at the guy and his group of friends with an uncaring look, as he grabs a handful of the girl's cheek just so he can spike the dude in front of him, which worked as the group begin to approach Deku. And I'm not gonna waste time. Let's say like 20 minutes later happen as we see a untouched Deku surrounded by a bunch of unconscious guys. And Deku, done with his little fun, would just begin to make his way to UA again, as the girl would just call out to him saying, "Call me," as Deku just keeps walking, paying no attention to her. And so, finally making it to UA, Deku sees that he's a bit late, but he could care less. As he goes inside, finally finding Class A, as he would open the door to see a tired man in a weird, like, yellow sleeping bag, telling the class that it took them a few seconds to quiet down. As Aizawa, we should know, would look at the direction of the door, seeing a boy, as he's like, "You're late." Well, that doesn't really look good for your first day, but whatever. Right now, y'all need to put these gym clothes on and head outside to the field. We're gonna be doing a Quirk assessment test. As some of the folks in class would just complain, but Deku would just take the gym clothes, not really paying any attention to the size, and just head to the locker room. And while that was kind of happening, most of the class would actually be kind of staring at Deku, especially the girls, because they're kind of interested in the boy with the long hair and the interesting build. But yeah, they would finally listen to what Aizawa has to say and head straight to the locker room. And I'm gonna say Bakugo, after seeing that Deku's gonna be in the same class as him, would be kind of livid, because he still haven't forgotten the fact that that Deku almost put him in a early grave. You know, after Bakugo tried to jump him with 10 of his friends, and most of them had to be lifeline to the freaking hospital. But yeah, so when they were all in the locker room, Bakugo would pretty much stare down Deku, kind of not like up close, like far from Deku, as he kind of stares him down, while Deku wouldn't even notice, not really even care. But everyone else in the room wouldn't notice. Well, not notice Bakugo, but notice Deku and his amazing build. especially when they all finally get outside, because since Deku didn't pay any attention to the size of his gym clothes, his muscles would kind of show since his shirt is extremely tight. So, and I'm sorry if it seems like I'm moving a bit kind of quick with the assessment tests, I tend to move past the boring joints. I mean, it's not boring, but it's not the most fun parts to talk about, But, sorry, let me get back to this. Zao would throw Deku the ball, as he would say, "You got first place, so you'll be throwing." As Bakugo and even, Todoroki, because he was kind of staring at Deku too in the locker room, would not be happy to hear that Deku got first place besides them. And honestly, I think they already known that because of the mail thing. Does the mail thing tell you? I don't know. Who cares? But yeah, Deku would step up to the plate. I don't know if there was a plate or like a circle. He steps up to the plate saying, "How far?" As Azawa's like, "As far as you can, and with your full power, there will be no holding back." As it's like, fine. Deku mutters as a blue aura begins to surround Deku, pulsating as it kind of gets bigger and bigger. Then he gets in a little throwing stance, as when he's ready, he opens his eyes, yellow as it glows, as he then throws it kind of like a mini explosion kind of happens around him. Let's say when he threw it, it was a crater, and then a whole bunch of dust just kind of formed him as the ball would be thrown. Let's say it kind of reaches the atmosphere into space, Godzilla strength, everyone. As when the dust would finally clear, everyone sees that Deku's tight gym shirt was kind of destroyed. Long hair flowing as he looks towards Aizawa to see how he did. But Aizawa only sees error, unnatural strength, As Bakugo, he can't even control the rage he's feeling. But he kind of shakes it off, as he believes that since he got one for all, he could easily win this. Yeah, I'm gonna give Bakugo one for all, because I think it's just giving him that ultimate power boost for the #1 hero, just to get his ass whooped by Deku will be hilarious. But you guys know that I don't just do hilarious fights. I take it a bit dark. So, be warned. Okay, it's not gonna be like super crazy, brutal shit, but you'll see. So, as that happens, most of the girls would have a nosebleed from staring at Deku's shirtless body. Besides one girl who would begin to approach Deku with another shirt, as her beautiful moon-like wings that could easily be mistaken for butterfly wings flutters in excitement. More and more they would flutter as she keeps approaching Deku. As Deku, wiping the dust away from his eyes, say, I remember you. Mothra, am I correct? As Mothra would only say, my king. Well, not loud, that loud, but kind of on a softer side, like my king, as she would not realize what she would say. As Deku would only give her a confused look, saying, what you say? And not Mothra, she would just shake her head kind of a little bit, saying, Zuko, I noticed you didn't pick out the right size shirt, so I got you, and hopefully it fits. As Deku takes the shirt and puts it on, says, well, that's mighty kind of you. Thanks, Mothra. As he begins to pat her head. And this puts extreme jealousy in the hearts of all the female classmates who are seeing this, as Momo would step in between them, saying, I do believe we have a to do, as she kind of stares at Mothra. As Mina, who loved these type of things, would say, looks like we have ourselves a little love triangle. But from what I'm seeing, most of the girls in this class want Suzuku for themselves. Hell, we might have to worry about the other females in this school. As the class 1A girls would agree, and Mineta probably just be seething with jealousy, as Deku first day he's already getting this much attention. But that's besides the point. Aizawa, not really. Back to Aizawa, who's not really caring about all this, but interested in the strength Deku showed, would just start the next test, which is, I believe, is the running one. Right? Yeah, it's a running one. Bakugo would look as before the race kind of starts. Bakugo would kind of look at Deku, thinking he's gonna win this, as Aizawa tells everyone to begin, as everyone kind of burst off in, with what speed they have. Ida going in kind of fast, whatever, thinking he's about to win this, as two people would actually kind of blitz past him. And pretty much in this race, Bakugo would get third place, and Deku, he would get second place, while Mothra gets first. Yeah. Though Mothra may not have the strength of Deku, I think she's definitely faster. That would make sense, wouldn't it? I mean, I'm sure Deku can run extremely fast, but like, she can fucking fly. I mean, even in her big, huge, whatever Mothra form, she can go like, is it like Mach something or whatever the fuck? I don't know. But seeing how fast she can go in her big self, imagine how fast she can go in this small whatever joint. So yeah. She gets first in the racing thing. And Deku, seeing Mothra beat him in this race, would kind of be dumbfounded, because till this day, no one has been able to beat him in anything. And, you know, for some reason, he finds this kind of hot. But moving on. I'm not going to waste any time on this. Grip test. Deku wins. Side to side, whatever joint. Ties with Mothra and Deku. Vertical jump test. Mothra wins that. I mean, she can fucking fly. And then everyone else does that ball throwing thing. That ball throwing whatever joint. And overall, the test is kind of finished. Deku's first, Mothra coming in real close, but second, and Bakugo's third, and Todoroki's fourth, and you know, so on. Bakugo literally has to hold himself from attacking Deku, because he doesn't want to mess up All Might's image or whatever, but he really wants to beat the crap out of Deku, thinking he can thanks to One For All. But you know, yeah. School would finally end as Deku begins to walk home, and Mothra, who would be flying, would just wave to Deku as Deku waves back. And you know, while flying home, Mothra would think, my king? Where the hell did that come from? It seemed weird to say, but it felt right. As you know, she would kind of dwell on this as the next day. Yeah, I'm going pretty fast, but on this, but I hope y'all don't mind that. I mean, I think I go pretty fast on all my what ifs. Yeah, so what the fuck am I saying? What am I saying sorry for? Fuck y'all. I'm kidding. I'm kidding. But yeah, the next day, Mothra would be flying to UA as she would land with amazing grace and beauty, as the male students would kind of stare in awe while the females would be jealous of her looks, you know. Oops. And Mothra would not care about this, not one bit, as she would make her way through UA, dodging the many advances of the male students around her, and finally get to her class. And she would open the door to see. Damn, what the hell was that? Sorry about that. But yeah, she would open the door of her to her class to see Deku, who is not late this time, who would have a bored expression on his face while he's surrounded by the girls who keeps asking him all types of questions. Mothra would only find this funny, seeing how irritated Deku is. Because I don't see Mothra as the, jealous type. Like, at all. Yeah, I don't see that at all. But yeah. Seeing the irritated face of Deku, she would want to cheer him up, as she would kind of sneakily, that's not a word. Well, it's a word now. Sneakily walks up to Deku and begins to whisper into his ear, saying, "You seem to be popular, don't you?" As Deku would open his eyes to see the sweet face of Mothra and the angry faces of the girls in class. As Deku says, "Oh, no, I'm fine. It's nothing like that. They've just been asking me a bunch of questions and about my quirk and stuff, and I don't really care for answering these questions." Not to be rude or anything about that, but I barely know y'all. It's my second day. As one of the girls would be like, it's fine. You can trust us. We're pretty much your classmates and all. But yeah, Deku is not the most trusting type. He tends to keep things to himself. He's a loner, like the original Godzilla. Honestly, his friendship with Mothra was kind of forced upon him. So yeah. While all that was happening, your boy All Might would finally come in, saying, coming in like a normal person, all that crap, and begins to, as everybody gets excited and all, All Might, whatever, as he begins to explain what it's going to be doing today, the hero versus villain test, as he hits the wall with the panels falling down, as everybody gets their costume and all. And time would pass as Deku would be the last one out with his costume, which was made by the cult of Godzilla. But he knows nothing about the cult. Not yet, anyway. So yeah, this is pretty much what the cult made for him. And it's, it's to help, I don't know, let's say, I guess besides it looking cool, let's just say that since Deku using his powers would produce a lot of radiation, they would try to minimize it a way that it doesn't affect his allies around him. So those little cape blue things around him, like whenever he would use his powers, anything that he's not using would be absorbed by them little things and given straight back to his body I don't know if that if that makes sense to you. And Mothra, she probably wearing something like this. I don't really see her as the armor type, more of the nimble whatever joint type. So yeah. So yeah. Everyone would be pretty amazed with Deku's costume, besides Todoroki Bakugo. As the first round of this little test would start, and All Might would pull out the names and say it's I'm gonna say that's Deku. Yeah, Deku and Mothra as the hero versus Bakugo and Todoroki as the villains. As Bakugo, Todoroki would go into the buildings, as Deku and Mothra would prepare. Would prepare. Deku kind of hyping himself up as the test would finally begin. Both of them would head in and actually kind of split up, because they're smart, and splitting up would cover a bit more ground. As Deku would actually run into Todoroki, while Mothra would run into Bakugo. As Todoroki would look upon Deku, saying, "So, you're the one who got first place on the entrance exam above me?" Well, as Deku be like, "Well, I didn't really see you at the entrance exam, so what the hell are you complaining about?" As Todoroki would be irritated with this back talk, as he throws a bunch of ice joints at Deku. Ice joints at Deku. As Deku just smashes right through them easily dodging them, jumping over, whatnot. As Todoroki would form an ice wall, because Deku was about to come in with a punch, but that ice wall don't do nothing, as he literally just punches right through him, hitting Todoroki's stomach, kind of sending him flying. As Todoroki would make an ice wall, trying to block his fall in momentum, as he would shoot more ice spikes, as he's kind of irritated from that punch, and how it seems that his ice literally does nothing to Deku. As Deku would easily be maneuvering over through Todoroki. Not really much dodging, as that's not really Deku's thing. More maybe a head tilt there to dodge an ice spike, but literally bashing through everything else like it's nothing. The class are just amazed how Deku can literally take so much punishment and kind of be unscathed by it. As Deku uppercuts Todoroki, holding back his strength, of course, as he's not trying to kill him. As Todoroki kind of flies in the air a little bit, but he doesn't go far as Deku grabs him midair, slams him down, literally through a floor, as Deku kind of drops down to the next floor that Todoroki fell in. As Todoroki would, quickly get up, throwing an ice spike up there, as Deku, seeing that this ice spike is way too big to just bash through it, as he just decides to charge up an atomic blast and just blast it, shooting straight through the ice spike easily, as it kind of just disintegrates. Todoroki shocked at the power he just saw, as out of the crater that Deku just made, Deku would jump in front of Todoroki, saying, "You done? Because if you give up now, the beating will stop." As Todoroki's like, "You looking down on me? How dare you?" As he would try to kind of flash freeze Deku, as it, kind of worked, as Deku stands there as an ice statue. All my in the class kind of shocked, thinking that he might have killed the kid, that Todoroki killed him. As Todoroki just stands in front of the frozen Deku, saying, "You're strong, but you're not strong enough." As Deku's the ice covering Deku's left arm would break, as he grabs Todoroki's throat and just straight up break all of the ice around him, to see a pissed off Deku. A pissed off Deku's like, "I do not like the cold," as he punches Todoroki in the chest, kind of sending him flying a little bit. And Todoroki getting his bearings, and then he looks up, about to say, "You damn bastard," but as he looks up, all he's is two boots in front of his face, as Deku drop kicks him. The signature Godzilla move, the drop kick. As this just pretty much knocks Todoroki out, as he goes flying a few inches. It's like, that was quite easy. Better go look for my teammate. As he goes running off, leaving Todoroki's unconscious body on the floor. And I'm gonna say that, during Mothra's and Bakugo's fight, I'm gonna say that for a while Mothra would actually have the upper hand with her speed and all. As Bakugo would literally just be so irritated with this girl, as he just cannot land a hit. He's like, can't land a hit. He's like, "Stop it. Stop flying around, you stupid bug girl, and let me freaking hit you." As Mothra wouldn't even reply to Bakugo, as she would just kind of flap her wings, throwing a little wind blast or whatever at Bakugo, kind of sending him flying. But during their entire fight, both of Bakugo's gauntlets would finally be ready, as he would kind of smile a little bit hard. And All Might, seeing this, would know what Bakugo was trying to do. It's like, young Bakugo, don't do that. You might kill her. As Bakugo's like, not unless she dodges it. As he would pull both of the pins, as the two explosions, the two gauntlets explosions are kind of powered with One for All, as it kind of blows across the room, and Mothra, who was not expecting this, would actually be hit by this. As the smoke, the dust would, kind of clear, and Mothra would be on the floor, injured and kind of dragging herself, as Bakugo would only smile at this as he approaches Bakugo would smile at this as he approaches Mothra, kind of put his foot on her back as he's saying, "Give up, bug girl." As Mothra would not reply to this at all, as Bakugo's like, fine. As he would actually grab both of Mothra's wings and kind of slightly, not with full force, but slowly kind of pull Mothra's wings, as this would kind of hurt her a lot, as she would try and hold in her painful screams, but it would finally kind of blurt out, as All Might would be like, "Bakugo, that's enough. What are you doing?" It's like, and Bakugo would only say, "Is like, I'm the villain in this situation. I can technically do whatever I want," as he kind of keeps pulling. And Deku, as he would keep roaming the hallways trying to find his teammate, would actually kind of hear the painful screams of Mothra, and this would actually trigger Deku, trigger something primal in him, as he would straight up clench his fist hard at the point where blood would seep out of it, as he begins to run where the screams he's hearing. Bakugo, not caring one bit of what he's doing, as he's literally kind of torturing this poor girl. The class, devastated. Kirishima's like, "This is the most unmanliest thing I've ever seen." Ida doing fucking choppy hands and whatever. It's like, I can't believe this disrespect that I'm seeing and all. But Well, but you know, enough with Bakugo's little torture moment, as he would stop because he notices something coming down the hallway from, you know, the left corner of the hallway, as he would actually feel that the temperature would be getting hotter and hotter as whatever's coming from the hallway would get closer, until Bakugo finally sees it. Something with huge flames. Something, you know, with huge flames would start to approach him, running fast, as he would see that it's Deku. Deku on fire. Yeah, I'm bringing that in. Burning Godzilla. Burning Godzilla. Triggered from the screams of Mothra. That's gonna be like a form that Deku will be able to use when he's angry enough. So yeah, Deku would straight up charge Bakugo as he would tackle him across the hallway, kind of dragging his face on the wall, and then throwing him across the hallway as he punches Bakugo in the stomach, and Bakugo kind of blood comes out of his mouth a little bit. So he decides to charge one for all as he punches Deku, as it doesn't hurt him, but it kind of pushes him back, as Bakugo keeps punching and all, as Deku just keeps allowing the blows to hit him, until Deku decides to throw a punch himself, as he boom cracks Bakugo across the face, more blood coming out, as they would just keep trading blows, one getting more hurt than the other, as it just keeps on going and all. Bakugo, who cannot take the extremely hot temperature, is, you know, slowly attacking. He's attacking, but it just keeps getting slower and slower, until Bakugo would try to use his gauntlet again, since, you know, it's really hot and he has enough sweat. But as Deku not gonna allow that shit, as before Bakugo can pull the pins, Deku straight up grabs the gauntlets and just crushes them, holding Bakugo's arm, both his arms, as he put a boot into Bakugo's face, as he kind of slings, as he you know, hits the roof, falling down from the roof. Deku hit him with that left hook midair as he hits the wall. Then an elbow in the stomach, as he's just brutalizing Bakugo for hurting Mothra. The class, you know, disturbed of this brutality, but it seems that, you know, Bakugo kind of deserves this from what he was doing to Mothra. But, you know, it kind of gets a bit worse and worse, as it seems that Deku is not letting up, as he keeps going and punching, punching. Bakugo can barely lift his arms at this point, as he's just taking the blows. Just taking the blows. Bloodied all over. Bloodied all over until Deku just straight up grabs his face and then boom, slam him into the ground. Slam him into the ground. You think he's done there? Nope. Deku pulls a freaking hollow Ichigo versus that Ukulele, whatever the fuck his name is, as Deku stomps his foot on his face and then begins to charge an atomic blast. Class kind of freaking out as All Might straight up calls off the match. And before Deku can fire the blast, Mothra would come in for the save, hugging Deku from the back, not caring that she's kind of getting a little burnt from the fire. As Deku kind of finally calmed down, and seeing the hurt Mothra, he would pay more attention to that, as he would pick her up and leave the exam area. All Might, he would be pissed, really pissed at what Bakugo and what he was doing, which kind of makes him wonder if he chose the wrong person to have his quirk, you know? But yeah, that's besides the point. He has to get both Bakugo and Mothra to Dr. Lady, what is her name? Recovery Girl, that's her name. That's her name. It's Recovery Girl. As while that's happening, Deku would just be chilling by himself, trying to calm himself down, because he's never been that angry before. There's never been a situation where people has got him that pissed, besides when Deku got jumped by Bakugo and 10 dudes. But that's not really anything to get him pissed, because it's not really a challenge. Yeah, this is like the first time he felt anger, because all the other times it's mostly excitement that gets him. But this was straight up rage, as Deku would just dwell on this, and the other classmates would have their little tests and all. So yeah, I think I'm about to end this one, so I can edit the video and send it out real quick, because it's 11:15. It's 11:15. Forgive me if it comes out at 12 midnight, but yeah, thank you for listening and all, and I'm gonna get this out real quick. So, goodbye.